with another video on the channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you Trello. Trello is a tool where you can create boards, lists, and cards, and basically you can organize your workflow. So I'm going to give you a tutorial in terms of monitoring your work in software development. So we're going to create a board, keeping that we're going to use that board to build a software. And I'm going to show you my experience, and I'm going to show you some sample boards that I used with my team to create a workflow in Trello. So let's say you have an idea that you're going to design an application, a web application, or a mobile, Android, iPhone application. You need some sort of tool where you could, write down all the things that you need to do and the steps that you take in the software development. So Trello is a great tool. It's free. You don't need to pay anything, but they do have some sort of like a paid features that we'll talk about during the video. Now I'm going to close this tab, and here after you log in, you will see some sort of page like this where you can create boards. You can see your existing boards. And also on the top, you have some buttons where you can do stuff. Okay, let me give you an introduction to Trello. First of all, here's a home page that you can click, and you can go to one of the board that you want to go to. Next, you can click on the boards button where you will list all the boards that you have created so far. Also, we have a search where you can search for a board or something in the board, right? On the top right, we have about 4 things. First, plus button, it'll let you create a board, create a team, and create a business team. Also, there's some information that you want to know about Trello. For example, you want to take a tour of a Trello, or pricing, or apps, or blogs, or privacy. You can click on one of these links. Now, I'm using the web version of Trello, but also if you are on Mac, you have an application that you can use. You can download from the App Store. So I have this same application, same interface here, but it's basically a little bit better looking on a Mac. So I'm going to use this one instead of using the web version. It's going to be the pretty much same thing. So right now on the top, I have notification that I can see all my team workflow, anything, it's basically for me. I'll get the notification. All right. And then we have a settings button where you can set your settings for notification, badges on door, global shortcuts, anything you want to customize your Trello, that will be available here. Let me close that. So first of all, let's say you have an idea that you want to create an application. Now, what you want to do is you want to go and create a board for that. So let's go and click on boards, and I'm going to go and click on plus button, and I'm going to go and click on create board. Now here, I want to create a title for a board. So I'll just say expense log app, right? Now I can select a theme. I can make it private or public. So I keep it private because it's my own application. I don't want to give it to anybody. I don't want to give access to somebody to my board. Now I have a few options. I can select the color, I can select the background, and also I can click on this 3-dot button, which gives me this pop-up where I could select photos and colors. I can click on see more. So I'll just select this color that will look nice, and then I'll say, okay, go and create a board for me. Now this is a board for now. Now this is something that I have to customize for a software development. Now Trello is not just for software development. You can use Trello to create your shopping list, create your story or a YouTube video list, whatever you want to do. You can customize it the way you want to do it. So now, first of all, we're gonna customize our board for a software development or app development. So I'm going to show you a few development life cycle that you can create, and then you can create some of the cards within those lists. First list we want to do is backlog. So backlog would be a place where I will write all my stories. For example, if I want to add a login and registration system in my app, then I will write that in the backlog. And then once I'm happy with that, and I'll gather all the information in the backlog. So once happy, I'll move that to do. So we want a list for to-dos. So create a to-do. Now once I have done something in a backlog, I'm happy with it, I drag that to to-do. The next development lifecycle would be in progress. So I'll type in progress, so I know whatever I'm working on, that card would be in progress. The next development life cycle would be, okay, once I've done it, then I'll just make it developed. Okay, next can be tested. Okay, so if I am going to test that feature that I've developed, then I'll put that into tested, or we just say testing. Okay, the last list would be release. Okay, all right, so that's looking good now. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lists in basically and development cycle of our expense log app. So for example, now what I'll do is I'll click on this add card and I'll write a message. I'll say, hey, I want to add a feature where people or user can log in and register themselves using social media, also with email addresses. Nice. And maybe add a functionality to register with the phone number. That's a new thing. Okay, that's one thing that I want to do for this app. So next thing what I'll do is user should be able to create their budgets. That's another thing. Now I'll say user should be able to log their expenses. Okay, also I would like to ask them information about their expense type. Okay, another thing, we can say user should be able to invite somebody to their budget and then share the data for that budget. So that's like I'm writing a stories that what I want to do in this expense log app. Another story can be, we will get more technical now. So let's say app UI, or you can say app UI layout. That's another task that I want to do. Now, user should be able to store their information into database. Okay, so I can say a bit more technical, say I use Firebase for authentication and also for database. Use Firestore for database. Okay, so this is like a story for me. I'm writing here that I would like to do all of these when I'm developing this expense log app. So I think there's enough cards now. And what I want to do is I want to go to app UI and layout, and I'm going to click on that. Once I click on that, I get this pop-up where I will have to add some description. So I'll say, okay, there are about 4 tabs in the footer of the app. Okay, also I can say, okay, I can name those tabs. For example, the first one was the expense, okay, then charts, then maybe budget, then we can have a me is like taking them to the profile. So this is like a description for that, and also I can add a comments if I'm working with the team. So we have like a member section. So here I can add more members to this card or this board so they can collaborate with me on this development lifecycle of this expense log app. So we have other options as well. For example, we have labels. We can create multiple labels if we want to. For example, if we want to tag something that this is a backlog thing or this is like a to-do thing. So I can say, okay, I'm going to say that this color would be for to-do. So I'll just rename that. So I'll just click on this and I'll say to-do. And then I'll just select this color. I'll save this. Okay. After going that, you can see the label here now that it is a to-do. So that's really cool. I can just, filter through stuff by looking at the label. We have some checklists. So inside this app UI layout, we can have like a checklist within the card that will help us to say, okay, this app has a lot of functionalities. I want to do a checklist where I have done this technology, this functionality, or this functionality. So I'll just say in app UI, tabs with 4 options. Okay, that's 1, and then we can add more. So we can say colors would be primary. Okay, and also we're gonna have a menu bar on the top left. Okay, and also we can say model for login / registration. Okay, that's like just I'm looking at just a checklist for my to-dos. So that card is set up. Now I have this I want to add a feature where people can log in and register using social media, and also now here I will add a description, and I will also can attach some attachments here. So for example, if you want to have like a UI let's go back to the app UI and layout, and here we can see the due date. So I want to see that I'm gonna start working on that app today when I want this app to be finished, so I can set the time and date for that. So here I'll say 30th of Friday in 2018 in November, I want this feature to be done for an app. So I'll just go, okay, save this. Now we have a due date, which will basically notify me in the notifications section. And also sometimes you can say, please email me or notify me through email that this task is due by this date. So I'll remind myself by, looking at notification. We can attach stuff to it. For example, if I want to attach any UI from my computer or from anywhere, like Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, OneDrive, you can attach these services within Trello. Or also you can do like a link here as well. For example, if I go to images.google.com, I'll just say app UI, and I'm gonna link one of the image here. So let's just use this one. So I'll just copy a URL, or I can just click on that. For example, I'll visit this, and let's see if that's an image. So now that's not an image, so we'll just have to copy its image address. Let me close this site. We go back, and then I'll just say, oh right, I want to add this. I'll just do attach, and it's going to go grab that image, and it's going to put that image right in an attachment. So now in app UI / layout, I can see the reference as well, but preferably you're going to need your own UI thing, so you can attach, and then you can attach to your checklist and just completely what you're developing for. So we have move actions. I don't want to use this because you can dynamically click, drag and drop things. You can watch it. So if you type watch, it will send you an email on your account, and also it will give you some notification that, hey, this is what's happening in this. For example, if somebody, a team member of mine, come here and then say, hey, I am going to work on this task, then I get notified. So I'll just save it, and that goes in activity as well, and I will get notified in the notification section as well. So that's the UI. Now if I think that I've done the information what I need for this particular functionality of an app, then what I'll do, I'll click and drag to to-do list. Now again, I'll just set this up. For example, if I go, users should be able to store the information into database. Okay, then I'll just do a description for this, like I'm use Google Firebase Firestore for database. Now I can just, go and modify this. I just want to show you some features that you can use to customize your cards. And once it's done, I'll just do, another label here. I'll do orange. I'll click on this edit button. I'll say database. So I can do like, if it's a database related task, so I want to just, look at this. But just going over the Trello board, I could just tag it with database, and I'll just do label and tag it with database. And now I can see, oh, this is a database task, what I need to do now or later on. So I can just click and drag into to do as well. And also, if you go to database, if you click on show details, you will see the complete activity of your card. So let's say I wish to move this card from backlog to do. Okay, I know that, and it tells me the time as well. So right now I can see, hey, I wanted to start on this task to do, and I can say 2 minutes ago I added this, no, actually a minute ago I added this card from backlog to do. Now if I want to start working on this, I'll just go drag this to in progress, and then in progress I'll leave it for a bit, for like a minute, and it says where should we move this card from to do to in progress. So it basically lets you track your software development workflow. So you can just keep all these tasks, whatever you're working on, and every time you work on an app development, you can take a look at your Trello board and see, oh, okay, this is cool. I want to work on this because you said that it's in progress. So you want to finish this, and then you want to go to the next one. So let's say I will go and grab another task. So you should be able to create that budget. So I'll just do, make a model for creating a budget. So let me just get my spelling right. Budget. So that's right. I can add like, checklist, a due date for that as well. Let's do 28. And then I'll just, move this to do. I haven't actually tagged it with label. So I'll just say it's just a to do. Okay. So now let's take a look at this in progress thing. So I actually moved this card from to do to in progress like a minute ago. That's cool. So I'll just wait for a bit, and then I'll just see, I will just have some time, and it shows in an activity. So I'll just move this, and I'll say, oh, this is developed. So I'll just move that, develop section. Now I can, put everything into develop section. Okay. And then I'll go to do app UI and layout. And here I can see 2 minutes ago, I moved this card from to do to in progress, and it actually took me only 2 minutes to complete this functionality. Now it's in develop. So I can, build app, build features, and then I will say, okay, what I need to test. The next day I'll come on this board and say, oh, I need to test this. So I'll go and continue working on this task. And once I test it and finalize this functionality is working, I'll just move that to testing. So this is how you can design your boards, and also you can, work with your team as well. Now, another thing, if I want to add somebody into my team and who wants to collaborate with me on this expense log app, I can click on this plus button and I say, okay, I can send invitation to an email. So I'll just do you, Umair. Now, this is my brother Umair who helps me on the channel as well. So I'll just add him. I'll say, hey, send invitation. Now he will receive an invitation in his Trello board, and he will accept it. Also, he will receive an invitation in his email as well. So he will accept it, and he will be part of this board. So he can create backlogs, he can move things around, and also he can comment on one of my tasks. So as a team, we collaborate. So if we click on show more, you can have some configuration that you could do, and you could see the activity that happened into your board. So I use Trello for my YouTube videos as well. I use Trello for all my software development to track what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do tomorrow, today, and how things progressing. Now Trello has this cool feature called power-ups, which you can search, and you can even extend the functionality of Trello. For example, if you're working in a big team, then you want to track times, how much time a particular person is putting on one task, then we can look at this like automation. And let me go and search for this. So let's say time. Okay, so it says time in a list. Nice. So you can go and basically search for these power-ups, which will help you to increase the functionality. So let's just say you want to add Slack. Slack is a communication and collaboration app to talk to your teammates. Then you can add to Trello, and from Trello they can talk, and they can, you know, vice versa. You can do stuff for Trello in the Slack. As well as we have a Asana, we have a Jira there as well. So there's a lot of things that, you know, you can add to Trello. Okay, so we can, you know, change backgrounds and photos, stuff like that. So I'm gonna show you a demo of a board that I used with one of my team work on one of the app. So I'll go to home and I'll show you first of all my YouTube list. So this is how, you know, what I'm doing if I'm saying, okay, how to use Trello. So I'll just go, okay, I've already started working on this. So I'll just do, you know, tag it with some yellow color, and I'll say move to in progress, because I'm making this video. So I'll just move this to in progress. Now when I say it is rendered, then I'll move this to render. So I basically configure these boards and I share these boards with one of the team member or whoever is collaborating with me. So right now Sabia is collaborating with me in this board. So let's go back to home, and I want to show you one of this app board that we created. So as you can see, we have about, you know, 12 team members here. We have a to-do list, and if somebody is planning on this, so they can, you know, plan things, and, you know, they can, you know, in progress. Okay, so let's see, this is what's happening. So this is all in progress. There's a lot of things happening. So you see the board is fully filled up. If I look at this show more, I can see the activity, who did what, and this is great for as a product manager as well. So you want to track things, who's doing what, and you can manage your whole team in a Trello. And Trello, trust me, is a great tool, but you need to know how to customize this. And in this video, I've shown you how you customize it. So in this development lifecycle, we have a to-do list, we have planning, we have in progress, we have a developed, and if there is any problems, people leave that in the problems. Bugs, if you find any bugs where after you have, like, you know, in test development, then you move the code back to bugs, so people will go and work on that. Also, for example, here, if you look at this called bug while switching side on a weather page, now you can see who is the member who is working on this. So I can say, hey, the Riyab, so I can just, you know, tag her, okay, and I'll say, hey, Riyab, this bug is still there, okay, and I can do, okay, I'll save it, and that goes in an activity, and that will notify her as well that she needs to work on this, she needs to fix this bug, okay. So there's a lot of things that you can do in Trello, so everybody has their faces on the cards they're working on. Okay, so this is how you track your team. This is how you know, do your development in Kanban style using Trello, and it's a free tool. All right, so that's it about this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Cheers.